Talking some Detroit Lions news for you folks today. In this video, we're going to get into Emmanuel Moseley, Halapaliti Vati Vaitai, Penei Sewell, and we're going to get into a little bit of a Jameson Williams. But before we get into today's video, if you are not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Trying to get to 9,000 subscribers. With your help, it can happen. Let's go. Real excited to see Emmanuel Moseley play on Sunday for the first time in his Lions uniform. He's been injured when we signed him in free agency. He was injured in training camp. He's been trying to rehab, and he's finally going to make his debut on Sunday in limited fashion. Him and Jerry Jacobs will take that spot, kind of go back and forth, and they'll be on a pitch count for Emmanuel Moseley. What to expect? What do I expect from Emmanuel Moseley? I just want to see how he stays with his receiver, turning the head, the simple things that you do at cornerback. I'm sure he's really good at it, but being injured and not being on the practice field, how is his feet going to be under him? Is he be able to stay with the receiver and everything? Has he had enough time to practice for limited fashion? That's what I'm looking for here because, again, this guy hasn't played in a long time, about a year? And we really don't know what he's going to do after injury. You really don't know. When someone gets injured, you don't know how they're going to perform afterwards. And it's been such a long time. And plus, we haven't seen him in a Lions uniform yet. So it's going to be fun to just see how he operates if everything come back like he did with the San Francisco 49ers. Again, in limited fashion. He's not going to be out there the whole time. And that's the way it should be. He should not be out there all the time because you don't want him getting tired. He's probably not fully in football shape, so slowly implement him into the defense is the best way to do it, in my opinion. Jerry Jacobs, he had a couple bad games, but other than that, he's solid last week. Solid player, especially when you're going against the Carolina Panthers. Not a big worry there. It's not like they got all elite wide receivers to go against. So I'm just looking for him to the simple things. Again, stay with the receiver, turning the head. How does he perform in that sense? That's all I'm looking for Emmanuel Moseley. I'm not looking for him to get a bunch of interceptions. I'm not looking for him to, blow up the world or anything like that, just to get his feet wet and see what he can do. Kind of like a preseason game almost. When they do limited snaps there in preseason, obviously it's different, but similar in that sense. That's all I'm looking for there. I'm not looking for this guy to be all elite right off rip. So just give him a little bit of patience there. So that's what I would say to everybody else out there. Big V looks like he could be returning on Sunday. That's a huge boost for the Detroit Lions offensive line. I was just on the Huge Show last night, local radio here, ESPN, talking about how one player I'm monitoring the most, and that's Big V. Because I feel like if Big V can stay healthy, this offensive line is going to be dominant. Now, I know Graham Glasgow's done a good job in his absence, but Big V is a dominant player. When he's healthy, he's dominant. This offensive line is better. If he can stay healthy, sky is the limit. But the problem is, he hasn't been healthy. So I want to see him on the field really bad, staying healthy. Now, if he's not 100%, don't play him in the game, right? This is a 17-game season. This will be the 5th game of that and the plus potential playoffs. But we need him to be on the field. We need him to be there. This team has really high potential for the offense. The offense can really take the next level with the run game and protecting Jared Goff, and he's a big part of that. He's got to be on the field. And look, if he can't stay healthy this season, it's the end of the Big V experiment in Detroit. You got to have an offensive line that's intact. You can't have players moving left and right all the time. You got to be able to stay intact. There's going to be players that are injured and nicked up. That happens in the NFL, but he has had an injured-prone history now. So I'm looking for him to be on the field, if he's on the field, and to stay healthy. And you can see That right side of the offensive line is much better when he's there. It is. You can run to the right. You could be a more dominant. And if you look at the Carolina Panthers, it's a great way to if he can play, to implement in the game, because they're terrible in the run defense. They'll have massive holes if he's out there. And then David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs is going to blow it up. So really, really looking for him to make a statement if he's in the game and stay in the game. If not, the draft in April, I think the Detroit Lions, look, if he can't stay healthy, the Lions probably should look towards the draft at some point, right? I know we got Sorsdale this last year, but continue to build the offensive line as a priority, in my opinion, to make it intact. This is why our team is dominant, is we're built in the trenches, offense and defensive lines. And the Lions are going to have a late first-round pick, and that is a prime target for a guard, right? That's, same area that we got Frank Ragnow. And even though he's a center / guard, wherever you want to put him, there's been other players whom we draft, but that's a good spot to get a guard. So we're going to monitor that. I want him to stay healthy so bad because the team is better when he's on there. He is better. This team is better when he's out there. So I'm watching Big V. Jameson Williams is returning as well, being limited snaps. Again, that's the way I think it should be for him, because you don't want to take away St. Brown's snaps. You don't want to take away Josh Reynolds at this point because he's doing well. Khalif Raymond. And he hasn't played in a while, so you get him out there, get his feet wet, put him in position to succeed. Maybe some plays that he knows down heart. He's good at those plays. Get his feet wet. I'm not looking for him to get 100 yards pass or anything like that. If the ball's thrown to him, I want him to catch it. That is the biggest thing here. I think we all need to watch and monitor this. He's got to catch the football. He's got to get open. I'm not worried about him getting open, though, honestly. But he's got to catch the football. Can't be dropping this stuff. Offenses, catch the football. He's a 12th pick in the draft. We traded up getting him. He's got to catch the football. That is what I'm watching for Jameson Williams. Jared Goff and him slowly need to get the connection going, and hopefully by the end of this season, maybe like three-fourths of the way through it, they're on the same page, and you can build upon that into the playoffs. But J-Mo, got to catch the football. Just got to do it. Be confident. You can catch the football. It's not hard. Because if he can start building upon that, this offense can be elite. That's a good 1, 2, 3, 4 of wide receivers right there. That's a really good combination of wide receivers. I told a lot of people that Khalif Raymond's a good player. Everybody wanted to get a wide receiver. I'm like, he's fast. He's pretty good. Is he a top wide receiver? No, but he's good. And then you get J-Mo coming back, and it just kind of finishes it up. So, J-Mo, catch the football. Penei Sewell. I seen this on the highlights in Mic'd Up from the Lions versus the Packers game. Penei Sewell staring down Rashan Gary, and it's on Pride of Detroit right now as well. I seen it when I watched it, and I was like, was he staring him down? And then Pride of Detroit did an article that says staring him down, so it's exactly what I was seeing. Penei Sewell's a dog. Penei Sewell is a dog. This guy is so freaking confident. I love it. And it just, you see him hyping up the team with the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he attacks, the way he fights. This guy is a great player for the Lions. He needs to be talked about more. Penei Sewell, such a great draft pick for us. And he sets the tone for a Dan Campbell type of football team. A guy who's scared of no one. Remember we did that with Aaron Donald? This is the type of stuff you have to have on a team. You got to have a dog. Somebody who will fight and really show themselves of a confident player, strong and physical stature. Physical team. And that's exactly what we built. Dan Campbell, physical football team here. You know, you got Penei Sewell, you got Aiden Hutchinson. You see these pieces of what we've done. We've really changed the trajectory of this football team from a finesse team to a physical bully team. And I love it. I love Penei Sewell's attitude. I absolutely adore it. That's what we need to have here for the Lions. That's how we're changing the culture here. You have players who backs down from nobody. And that is exactly what we need for the Lions. And that's what we got. As Brad Holmes continues to build this team, and this team continues to win, we're going to be known as a physical football team that nobody wants to face. The likes of Penei Sewell, players such as him. That's where we're getting it. So it's great to see, folks. It is really great to see. On Sunday, we're doing the live watch party, so get ready for that. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest Lions news and rumors.